Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Dan the Fix-It Man. Got another quick video here for you. I'm going to show you how to fix a dryer that will turn on but won't heat. And this happens to be a Kenmore 80 series. Now again, the dryer will turn on and run, but there's no heat right now. And what we can do to verify, we can pop this little window right here and take a look in there. There you can see the igniter glowing, but it's not kicking on. So we're gonna unplug the dryer and pull it away from the wall. Now before we can pull this one out too far, this has got a pretty short hose. We just need to get a screwdriver in here and disconnect this vent hose so we can pull it out a little bit more. Now we need to remove the back panel of the dryer, and there's these little 1/4 inch machine screws that need to come out. There are 9 all the way around, and I'm just going to use a 1/4 inch nut driver for that. And the last one here. Just need to loosen that one. Alright, then we can remove our back panel here. So there are 4 key components that I'm going to test today and show you what to check for if your dryer's not heating in the back, at least on the back panel here. So there are these are 2 high limit thermostats or high limit switches. And we just need to check for continuity. These are kind of a fail-safe. If they get too hot, they will trip and not allow the current to run through and allow those solenoids to actuate and open the gas valve. Down here, down on this side, which is the vent side, we have a thermal fuse. Same thing, we're going to test that for continuity, and then another high limit thermostat or high limit switch down here that will do the same thing. This thermal fuse is probably the most common. A lot of times when you don't have enough airflow through here, everything kind of heats up, and it will cause these fuses or limit switches to trip. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to test for continuity on these switches here with just a simple multimeter. So we'll turn that on, and then just turn the setting to the lowest Ohms setting, this little icon right here, and then it'll be on a 1 when the leads are not touching, which is just open, infinite, and then if you touch them together, it'll close the circuit and pretty much zero out here. But so to test these, I'm just going to pull off the leads, and then we'll just kind of hit both sides there and see what we get on the meter. And there, that one actually is good. There's continuity there. And then just going to pull off the top lead of this other one. This bottom one, this is just a loop there, but I'll just hang on to that. And then we'll just test this next switch. Looks like it's got some corrosion on it, but it's still good. So you can see there, same thing. We just closed that circuit, so we can put these back on. And then we'll check those ones down below. Okay, now we can pull the wires off the thermal fuse, and we'll check that for continuity. And as you can see, I'm touching both sides there, and we still have an infinite reading, so we're not, that's the problem right there. That's open. So that's the one we'll be changing. But let's double check this down here as well. Just need to take off the top and bottom. And same thing, we'll just see if we've got some continuity there. There we do. So we've got a continuous circuit there. we're good to change out this thermal fuse. So I've got a new one right here. And before we put that in, let's just test to make sure that it's okay. There we go. So we've got a continuous circuit through this fuse. So this is the new fuse, of course, and we'll be putting that in. Now I'll put these wires back on here first, so we don't forget. And that's just the same 1/4 inch nut driver or little screw that holds that in. And then just kind of grab it, pull it up and out. And then we'll put in our new one. Same orientation, kind of start with this end, put it in and push down. And we'll get that screw started. And we can put the wires back on. Now, these don't usually fail for no reason. Sometimes they do just get old, but most likely it's because of a clogged vent. One thing I noticed when I took off the hose is it was full of all kinds of dust and debris, and I've got it cleaned out now. And sometimes even just this part of the dryer, which is where your little lint screen is on the inside from the top, comes down through here. A lot of times this will get full of debris. So I actually did already take this off, which is just those same screws that hold this in. There's just 4 down here, and then up at the top there's 2 Phillips screws. It's a good idea if you're replacing the thermal fuse and any of these switches. It's a good idea to take that apart and clean everything out as well. Okay, now we can put the back panel back on. Just line up underneath that screw. I like to start with the center one, and that'll kind of line up everything. We can tighten that down. Okay, now we can push it back and hook up our vent hose here. This vent hose is a little short, so we're kind of limited on space here. But just be careful as you're hooking it up. Make sure there are no kinks. And just watch that gas line as well as you're pushing it back into place. And we can tighten that clamp. And then we can push the dryer back a little bit more. And that's about where we want it. Again, you just want to be careful with the vent there. Just make sure you're not kinking that hose or anything. And then we can plug the dryer back in and turn it on. And then you can see down here through that little access hole in the front. There you can see that the igniter is on, glowing hot, and then the solenoid kicked on, and there's the flame. And then we can put the little cap back on that access port in the front, and you're done. I'll put a link in the description with that thermal fuse part number. Hope you liked the video. Please subscribe if you did. Give it a thumbs up as well if you don't mind. That does help me out. But thanks so much for watching, and good luck.